I'm on my way to my mommy's house. And I'm gonna stop and get my nephew first, and then my mom's not far from my sister, so we'll just go down to my mom's, and I'm staying the night there. Just go straight down there and just stay the night, and then that way tomorrow we wake up, we have breakfast or whatever. I don't know if we're going out for breakfast or lunch. I think my mom wants to do lunch at this really good Italian restaurant that we like, one of the best restaurants ever. I still have yet to see anyone who competes against these people. And it's not it's not a chain restaurant. It's like one of those private authentic Italian restaurants. And it's very small. And when you go in there, it's almost like, the old school Italian restaurants where they were small inside. They had like maybe 7 or 8 seats. I'm going to say in there they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 seatings. And in the back is the very huge seating where you can sit about 6 to 8 people back there. And I think there's one where you can go into like the side is like a little row, so you can fit a lot of people in. But I hate chairs that are like rows. I don't know why. I feel grossed out. I feel closed in. I feel like there's something hidden in there that's dirty or something. I don't know why. I don't like chairs like that. I like chairs where, in the middle, it's like a long square chair. You all have individual seats. You sit down, the seats look clean. You can see everything. And I like the chair in the back. I hate feeling closed in like that. It's gross to me. I don't know. I start feeling grossed out. I don't know why. But yeah, other than that, it's a really good restaurant. It's like very old school like. You bring your own bottle, and small, but one of the best Thai restaurants I've ever ate at. Is you can tell these people are authentic. Their wine is from Italy. Not, like they tell me about certain wines that are only at Italy, and that's it. And they gave us a wine one time. I took a picture of it, and they don't sell it here in America. And they gave it to me. I said, "Oh, this is good." And you could tell that was some real wine there I was tasting. And I don't remember it being sweet. I remember it being on a dry side, but it just had the smoothness going down. I don't know how to explain it, but it was really good. And that was a white wine. So, and I'm not a white wine fan, but that was a really good wine. So hopefully we can go there tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday. Maybe they'll be open for lunchtime during Mother's Day. We'll see. I hope so, because I would love to eat there, get my special I always get. Love their meatballs and their sausage, meat sauce, and the penne is so good. So looking forward to it. But yeah, other than that, today has been a very busy day. Trying to get things ready in my house, clean up everything, because I don't know what time I'm going to be back home tomorrow. I don't know what we have planned, and we tend to do things very sporadically in my family. Like, we just up and go. We don't really always go by plan with things. So I don't know what's going on. So I just did everything in my house today. I cleaned the house up. I mopped the floors, I wiped out the tiles, I cleaned the toilet inside out, the sides. The only thing I didn't do is my laundry, because I still have enough laundry, but I just figured that I would be back home in enough time tomorrow to at least do the laundry. If not, I could do it Monday night, because it's not like we don't have work clothes for Monday. But everything else, I cleaned up. I cleaned everything up today. I wasn't playing, and I just kind of listened to a lot of videos in between, and I took a little nap, got up, and then started at it again. I made sure I packed all my stuff. So yeah, it's been good. I was supposed to do a wine stream Friday night, but I was just so tired. I don't know. I got home, I did a Bible study, and about like 8, 9 o'clock, I knocked out. I couldn't stay up. I fell out. It was yesterday, and I just could not stay up. I can't stay up anymore like I used to. I have a hard time staying up nowadays. Like, it's really hard. I don't know. There was a time I was able to be up all the time. Now I'm starting to feel it. I don't know, my age kicking in. My hormones are starting to take a kickback. And I'm feeling tired and more moodier now all the time. I'm getting older, and I think that's what it is. I just don't have the patience I used to have, and I get so tired. By 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm knocking out. It's like I'm struggling to keep my eyes open half of the time. There's some nights that do well, like I stay up to 10, but all this week I've just been knocking out at 8, 9 o'clock. It's crazy. But yeah, I guess that's what happens when you get older and your body starts to change, start losing energy. You know? But not just that, the other night I went out, I sat outside, it was like around 7 o'clock after work, and I was thinking to myself, like, you know, I haven't really been like going on the internet like that as much as I used to, like every day. Like I'll listen to videos like if I'm busy cleaning like I did today and stuff. But it's almost like, I don't know, since I've gotten away from the internet more and not been spending so much time on it, I feel more at peace. I don't know how to explain it. Like I just feel a lot more at peace since I've got off the internet, like not spending so much time on the internet. Like my leisure time is not so much dedicated to being online anymore. Even when I go on live stream, my live streams are not long like they used to be. Like I make them very short because for one, I don't got the patience to be on there that long. I don't got the time, and not just that, or the energy. And I just feel so much at peace when I'm not online like anymore. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I just feel this sense of peace. And it's like almost like, you know, I thought to myself while I was sitting outside on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night. I was sitting outside around 7 looking at the sun setting. And I said, you know, I miss just when there was no like internet and there was no phones and I was just so peaceful and not having to deal with people and always being reachable to everybody. You know, sometimes people today, they just want you to be on their beck and call. You just feel like, oh, you know, I got a cell phone, let me just text them, give me an answer now. You know, back then it wasn't like that, you know, and it's just a different time and era, but it's like I'm just like, you know, I'm at a point where I'm thinking like, you know, I'm about to go off the internet for a while, or I take a nice long break and just not be on here so much, like meaning like less coming on here, other than when I do a Bible study, of course, you know, but that'll be the only time I come on here. But I'm like, this is nice, just being away from everybody and everything, like, you know. Let me turn in here. Yeah, so that's how I felt, and it felt so good. And I'm like, you know, I can definitely do away with like phones. I would love for just to go back and just not have any technology with me sometimes. I feel like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if life ever turned out that way, where we go backwards. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I know only what the Bible tells me. That's it. You know, you know. Of course, you know, things will never be the same again, you know, like how it was back 20 years ago, or even the morality of people, because the Bible says immorality will increase. The love will grow cold, evil will increase, so that's expected. But I don't know, like, I was looking into something about Gen Zers, right? And they're saying now supposedly a certain portion of Gen Z generation is starting to move back. They're starting to go backwards and get off of the cell phones. They're trying to go back to using dummy phones. And I think I have one still at my house that I used to use, and I actually was using the dummy phone back in 2015, 2016, and then I went back to a touchscreen phone, and that's when I started going on streams during the first presidential election for Trump. That was a crazy mess. But before that, I was using a dummy phone, you know, and I was on the dummy phone, and you know, I rarely went on my phone, and I would be texting no one back, and I'd be dancing half the time in my room and writing my story that I mentioned. And that's what I used to do. I didn't want to be on the phone so much. And then when the election happened and I was scouting the internet and I caught this chat room on CNN, and I just got curious what it was, and then I saw people talking about Trump, and I ended up going on and got a little addiction on there for a while. But Yeah, that's what people are going back to. Gen Zers mainly, they're saying like that certain portion of them, not all of them. They're saying like more of the which age group did they say? I don't think it's the older Gen Z. I think it's the younger Gen Zers and the college students. They're starting to go backwards, like starting to throw their touchscreen phones away and trying to get the dummy phones and spend less time on the internet because they think that it's good for their mental health, and they actually say it's actually helping them feel better, feel more at peace. I just think that I don't know what it is. I think it's just that, in the world that we live in with sin and evil and all the stuff that's going on, it's just a lot of anxiety being put on people. And I just think also too, there's a lot more evil on the internet than good. The internet could be used for a lot of good things, but I think there's a lot more evil and bad with the internet than good. Because obviously you live in a very evil, sinful society, and everything that you see is sin. Then you got to think about all the jealousy that's online and all the drama and all the, back and forth with people and people showing off their lives, and then people start feeling secure about their lives because they see someone on Facebook that have something that they don't have in it. It's just a lot on it, and you see all the stuff going on around the world. It's people after a while they start feeling like this is all their life is surrounded around. Oh, that's a nice little fog right there for me. So I'm like surprised. I'm like, wow, Gen Zers, they have a very high anxiety rate and depression rate. And they're like, since I put the phone away, got away, start living out, going out and doing things and just putting boundaries up and stuff, I feel better. I feel more at peace. I came to this conclusion, and I probably said this a long time ago, but I'll say it again if I haven't said it, way with things that can't in real life. And what I mean by that is, I mentioned how I used to go on the CNN streams and how so much hatred in people's hearts was being exposed on there. And it's amazing because I bet you 10 to 1 that if they some of the things they say, well, they're going to rape you or burn you on fire, some of these guys on there, if they talk like that to someone else, they will get their ass whipped. And probably thrown in jail for insults and threats and hate crime. But see, when you're online and you're hidden, you can get away with things that you desire that you can't do in real life or play out in real life. And that's the thing. And it's very cowardly, but a lot of people do that. They know that they're hidden and protected behind closed doors. But if they were to do that in real life, they'd get their ass whipped. They wouldn't have the balls to do half the things they do to people online. And so that's just what I think about the internet. I think it's a place of a platform given for people like that, for the most part, because people could say and do whatever they want and there's no consequences. They may get reported. Oh, you threatened me. Oh, I'm gonna report you and take down your channel. But let you do that in real life to somebody, and guess what? Your ass is going to jail. You're gonna get your ass whipped. Go take someone's kids and family members and put it on the internet from the top. Yeah, and go in real life and say, yeah, your daughter or your mom, look at her, she's stupid, she's ugly. Boom! You're gonna get knocked the hell out. Teeth broken and everything. Or maybe even killed. Do that shit that you do on the internet in front of somebody's face and see how far you get. Or your ass is going to jail. I know, I told you stories. I'm from Brooklyn originally, and out there, okay, do some shit like that, beat your ass down, break your teeth in. You talked about somebody's mother up there, forget it. Your ass is getting beat up bad. Let me tell you that. You're going to get beat up real bad up there. There ain't no cops protecting you up there either. They flee from them. They don't even bother you. They say, oh, they get beat up, I'm minding my business. Should have shut your mouth. But see, when you're on the internet and you hide behind a platform, you can get away with those things. And I've came across a lot of that, especially when I used to be in the chats and everything like that. And I saw all of that, like people just doing a lot of evil to each other. And like just a lot of evil intentions, a lot of people faking the funk around each other, people getting information on each other's personal lives and throwing their family information out or personal information out. And then it's like, if you did that shit in real life, you get your ass beat up. Seriously, you really would. Like, like you would get your ass whipped or either put in jail for harassment. You get what I'm trying to say? And so it's like when I started seeing all that and I started seeing how people operate and where their hearts are at, I said, I got to get away from this. And it was the best thing I ever did. Like one of the best things I ever did as far as like getting away from certain things on the internet is getting away from that kind of atmosphere of people that entertain those things because their heart desires those things. Otherwise they would have left just like me, so I don't want to be around that. And it's toxic. And I can tell you, I feel more at peace being away from there. I feel more at peace just not being on the internet in general. Facebook, I go in there I post pictures here and there, but I don't post everything as much as I used to on there because I don't want people knowing my business. And I just don't feel this need to be on there and let everybody in on what's going on in my life. And not just that, I noticed that on Facebook too. They ask a lot of personal questions like, oh, what's your favorite thing to drink in the morning? Well, what do you, personal questions. What do you like to wear? You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not telling you all that. I don't need to tell you about where I grew up at, where I lived before Jersey, or, clock this stuff in, all that stuff. I don't need to tell you all that. What's your favorite movie? Where did you graduate from high school at? I'm not telling you all that crap. That's none of your business. And I don't want people knowing that. And there was a time too that, I had people that were friends with me, and I still do have a few people that are friends with me on there that knows a former friend of mine that I cut off. And so I don't really want them going back and reporting my whereabouts to that person because I don't want them knowing anything about me. I cut them off out of my life for a reason, and for a good damn reason. So I don't want to give that, I don't want to feed that, So, Facebook, I try to limit as much as I can, not telling my family business, not telling people what's going on with my life. If I get a promotion or a new job, they ain't going to know I got a new job. They have no idea. You know what I mean? Because I don't go on the internet. I didn't put it on there because there are certain people on there I don't want them knowing my business. It's different on YouTube because it's not a big channel here, and the people on here I don't know them personally. The only person I personally know on here on YouTube, and they're very few. When I say personally, it means I've met them in real life. Okay, the person that's on here that I've met in real life, okay, that knows about what's currently going on in my life. Okay, all right, is my coworker Jen. Okay, she knows what's going on in my current life, and that's someone I've built trust with, that I've worked with for over a decade. And then of course EQ and Mac Daddy, even though I've never met them in real life, I've talked to them on phone. I've had them speak to my husband. They know me on a very deep personal level. They know that I work at the hospital. They know that but other than that, I don't care about them knowing about my personal life and knowing me, or ever meeting me, because I know I can trust them. But most people, and there's a few other people I haven't mentioned that knows about my current life that I don't care if they were to meet me in person or know things, because I've gained that trust with them. But for the most part, most people here I don't know them, they don't know me, so I don't care if I tell them, hey, I work at the hospital, and I don't feel threatened if they knew, because it's not like they're the type of people who run away, and then when we have get-togethers, there's tension in the room. So, those are things I don't like, on Facebook. The only thing I post on there is cooking videos, and I will probably post up a few pictures about, like my family, all hanging out with my husband. But I don't tell people everywhere where we go, I don't tell them every little thing I do with my husband when we're out in the Poconos. Oh, I'm visiting here right now. Yeah, I'm right here with my husband now. Or, I don't have to tell them every little aspect on there, And on YouTube, of course, I never tell people a location because you got a lot of crazy people out there. You tell people where you're going ahead of time, guess what? You got a crazy murderers and serial killers out there that's ready to come murder you. You know? And I guess, and trust and believe, the internet is a big place for predators. So, you know, you don't know. You could be talking to somebody the whole time there's a predator. And that's why you got to keep your location and certain things private, you know? So I always keep that in the back of my head. And just because you're a woman don't mean you're not a predator. There's a lot of women out there that's nasty, that's evil, that want to do bad things to you, and you don't know what they're trying to do. They may have a husband or a man that's in on the shit they do, and they probably serial killers together. Probably a Bonnie and Clyde, you know? You know what I mean? I don't trust you just because you're a woman. You know, sometimes they're the worst. You know, the worst predators, because you never expected them coming. You know, you expect it to be a man. You know, so I don't trust it. You know, anybody. You trust no one. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, where what I was thinking about the other day. And I say, you know, I just feel so at peace, and I'm like, I gotta do this more often, like get more away from the internet, off the phone, you know, other than when I need something to listen to, like something inspirational, like the Word of God, or brings me to reality, like certain things that brings things to light, you know, videos like that, you know, things I can relate on, and I'm cleaning and busy, you know, I do that. But for the most part, I don't want to be consuming so much time. I'll tell you, when I used to go on the streams, right, the chat rooms and stuff like that, I remember consuming so much time that I felt like I was I was forgetting to pay bills. I was forgetting to do certain things I was supposed to do, and I was neglecting a lot of things around myself. And I said, you know, I felt so much drama around me. And I said, you know, I don't need all of this around me. I really don't need this. You know, I don't need all this drama and the BS and the negative energy. I just feel like my anxiety is up high all the time, and like there's always something wrong. And I'm like, I just gotta get away from here, you know? And I started off with that, like slowly pulling back from that, because it was just consuming so much of my time. And there's so much things that I could be doing for my life other than sitting on the internet talking with a bunch of people that don't give a fuck about you. You get what I'm trying to say? That they're just that just are miserable, that are envious of each other, that are jealous, that just want drama and problems around you with themselves in it. And it's like, and getting you involved with all this negativity. And I didn't realize how bad I was being affected by all that negativity. And I was even getting pulled into things that had nothing to do with me. And then you start realizing, like, you know, this is not me. You start looking at videos and realizing, oh, wait, this is not me. And I'm getting involved in things that has nothing to do with me. And I'm having all this negative energy around me, and I feel like anxiety all the time, and I feel like just always, like, you know, tension. And it's like, it's not good for you to be around that kind of atmosphere of people. People say, oh, you know, it's just the internet. No, it's not just the internet, because it doesn't matter if you're in person or on the internet. You can feel tension around people when there's tension. You can feel negativity. It's just this: if I go in a room as a child of God, and I go into a room, right, where they're doing witchcraft and they're doing seances, right, on a live stream, and you walk in there and you see them go chanting to the devil, just because the internet don't mean shit. You are being affected by this negative energy. You watch a movie on TV and all you're watching is serial killers and people killing people and doing. You're around a spirit that is evil. And I was around spirits that were evil, that had demons behind them in those rooms. You know what I mean? And so you start realizing that, you start noticing that these people are godless. You don't hear nothing about God. You don't hear nothing about people trying to get closer to the Lord. You don't hear them even talking about something positive. So what spirits are they operating from? Not God's spirit. You know what I mean? So when you're around that is negativity around you. That is going to ruin you. It's going to influence you. And you're like, this, I got to pull back from this. My hands are out of here. And you're like, I got to start moving back, because this is not me. And this is not the type of energy I need to be around. You know, I don't want to entertain this. You know, so I'm glad that I've moved the way I have, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, cutting off bad relationships, fake friends, people that, and it's a lot more to what you think. And I'm glad I did, you know, glad I did. And now that years have gone on, I just feel so much more at peace being by myself, having the very few people that I know around me. And I don't know, I just don't even feel like talking to people anymore. I don't know what it is. It's like I feel so much at peace that I don't even feel like talking to people anymore. I find more joy just sitting here and doing this, talking about life, and getting out my thoughts, talking about important things, things that really, a lot, I don't even like have the patience. I feel almost like tired, even tired from the thought of talking to people. Like, it's mentally draining. I think a lot of that is like what my sister said, because she was saying the same thing. And this is besides the internet. This is just in general. Like, she was telling me, like, a lot of people she knows, right? She gets with them, and it's the same conversations. It's nothing about God. It's nothing about life or reality. And it's nothing she can relate to. And it's almost draining hearing them talking about the same shit. Oh, my man. Oh yeah, you saw he was cute. Oh yeah, this and this and this and that. Yeah, I look good, don't I? I look good. And you're like, oh gosh, or talking about the show, the TV show. Yeah, did you see what happened? And it's the same thing. There's nothing about God. There's nothing about life. It's nothing that brings me to light to anything. It's just dead. And so, like, I don't feel the enjoyment I used to feel in people when we talked. And that's because you are leveling up. You have matured spiritually, and you've grown out of that shell. And it's almost like a child. A child, when they play with a doll, right? They're not gonna play with the doll forever. They're gonna grow that doll baby. And when they become an adult, they look at the same doll and they're like, I don't feel that same thrill behind that anymore. That's how I feel. That's how I feel around people. I feel like spiritually have matured, and the things that I'm interested in is different. And I'm happy that it's in the Lord. It's not in anything else, because, that's when you truly grow, is when you grow spiritually in God. Truly have grown. It's grown when you grow spiritually and you get a better knowledge and understanding and wisdom of God. Of God's word and the reality that we are living. But with wisdom comes much sorrow. That's what the Bible says. He says, with much wisdom comes much sorrow, because you start seeing it's a delusion. It's a whole delusion from the devil to keep you distracted from your main purpose and focus, and that is God. That's just it. Pretty much. But that's how I relate to that. When my sister told me that, I said, that's exactly how I feel around people. I just feel like I'm being burdened by the devil. Even politics. Like, I'm tired of talking about fucking politics. You know what I mean? I'll tell you my opinions about it, and I'll tell you what I think about certain things, but I don't really give a damn's rat ass to talk about that anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I've outgrown a lot of things, and it's just, the more I grow in my relationship with God, the less I care about the foolishness in this world, the things that's going on around it. And I'm not saying that if someone asks me my opinion about the presidency, I'll tell you my opinion about things, but it's not something I care to talk about too much anymore. Because you know what? At the end of the day, the devil uses he'll use everything around you to distract you. If anything, I'll talk about things that are reality. And the reality is that this world is coming to an end very soon. We're all going to face judgment, and in this world, we're going to face tribulations. And that's when right now, these videos that I've been posting about people buy food or do things, I post these things not just to show you the reality. Like, things can come and go. Things are temporary. One second you could be doing so good, next second you could be doing bad. As the Bible makes it clear, everything is vain in this world. Nothing is promised. But also, too, it shows you that a lot of people in this country, we've been spoiled, right? Because we don't live in those other countries where people have wars and bombs going off all the time, and they live in poverty all the time. We're used to that. We don't know what it's like to truly struggle. And when we start struggling, we act crazy. We're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't, my chips are for $6. I seen somebody complain about $6 chips. Now, yeah, it's true. It is. They were making a point that things have gone up. Yeah, and they're very much true. It's very much true. The bills, everything has gone up, but they're complaining about the chips being $6. And what am I supposed to do? Well, $6 chips ain't gonna that ain't nothing, you know. Well, let's get on to the steaks, you know, because really you don't need chips in your diet. You know, if anything, we need certain things to survive. Chips ain't one of them, you know. But it's a reality. It's something that brings to light, like the fact that we've been so spoiled, and now that we're actually facing a major economy crisis, and we're really truly starting to struggle a lot more than we usually do. Not that we didn't struggle before. You ain't got hope. So when all you're used to is vanity and things that can just come and go, snap, guess what? When you lose it all, you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to, and if you never struggled before, you're gonna have a hard time with all the things that's gonna happen very soon. Just like the Great Depression, there was a lot of rich men that threw themselves off buildings because their money was worth nothing. And there will be a time again, as the Bible said, where you won't be able to buy or sell even unless you take the mark of the beast. And I thought there was a part in there where it says that, if I'm not mistaken, I thought there was a part about money not meaning anything. I got to look up again. I could be wrong. But there will be a time your money won't mean nothing. And we're going to live in a very dark society. You have to be mentally, spiritually prepared. You're spiritually prepared only in the Lord Jesus Christ. No other faith, no other religion or belief, because all of them are of the false gods, the devil. And see, a lot of these people, a lot of people are unbelievers, and they're freaking out. I went to college, I did this, I did that, I don't know, I can't handle this anymore, I'm sick, I'm tired of this, I've done everything. Well, you could do everything you want. Just remember that shit comes and goes in this life. It is not promised. You can do have all the education, be as smart as I don't know what, a genius. And guess what? It ain't guaranteed in stone to you. Someday, it all's gonna leave you, even your own intelligence, because someday your body will rot and go into the ground, and everything you have, okay, will become somebody else's treasure. That's biblical. So we're not to worry too much about that. We're to be aware of things, and yeah, there are things that are annoying. Like I find it annoying, some of the stuff that's going on. It's just unnecessary. But I have to always keep reminding myself, we live in the devil's world. This is not heaven. We can't expect heaven in hell. We can't expect heaven in the devil's world. Heaven and hell can't exist together. And that's a true reality that's coming. And a lot of people, just don't listen. I mean, that's their fate, but you do your part by telling people the word of God. You can't convince people. You can only just tell them the truth, and that's it. If they don't like you, well, that's tough shit. Oh well. That's not important at the end of the day. But I want to get to this drive-thru. I want to get some salads. But yeah, that's how I've been feeling lately. I've just been like, I need to go on a internet fast. There's different kinds of fasting, and one of them can be the internet. I definitely could do like a soul fast, like, Cassandra Mack has mentioned this before, where you do like a fasting away from the internet and away from cell phones and all this stuff. You only pick up the phone, of course, the cell phones, and try like a good week or two.
Hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A. May I get a name for your order?
Just a minute. Candace is my name.
All right, I can serve you when you're ready.
Okay. Hold on one second. You guys have the market salad still?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take a market salad with the apple cider vinegar.
All right, how else may I serve you?
I'm sorry?
How else may I serve you?
And that's it.
All right, your total's me $10.76. You're all set to call.
Okay. And you have the crispy chicken with that, right?
That comes with the grilled nuggets. Did you want regular nuggets?
I'll just say crispy nuggets. That's fine.
All right, it's me 1076. You're all set to call for.
Thanks. Hi, yep.
Your American salad nugget with apple and vinegar. Your toast going to be $10.75.
Okay.
In cash or card.
A card.
Just tap whenever you're ready.
Okay. Oh, I don't do tap. I have the.
Oh, you have to slide in.
Yeah, they still give me the chip.
It's okay. A couple people do.
Yeah.
Okay, you're all set.
Thanks. No
My
problem.
pleasure. You have a great
Sure.
night.
You too. Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that. I want to do that. My sister already has started doing that more often, like just getting off the internet. I mean, she does like what is it, like Instagram or TikTok, one of those things. But she she rarely goes on Facebook. She doesn't post up anything or pictures on the internet. She just, every once in a blue moon posts something up. She gets away from the internet, and she just doesn't want people knowing her business. I know we went out to Italian restaurant, the one we want to go to tomorrow, but we went there one time when she was pregnant. She's like, no, I don't want no pictures posted on the internet. Just want it for just us, for the family. And I was like, okay, no problem. And I understand why she's like that, and why she's trying to put less on the internet. I think while the internet can be a place that's very toxic, I think that it can be used, like I said before earlier, for, things that are positive, or a way to unleash or vent a bit, like for people that don't know who to talk to, or they want to relate to people, maybe they're struggling with something, and there's people out there that struggle with the same thing. But the only problem with that is now you're vulnerable. So you just got to remember that, keep that in mind, that whatever you share, a lot of people, there's people out there that's ready to attack your vulnerabilities, your insecurities, because there's just people out there that like to get a kick out of that. So you just have to expect that. But I'm thinking about doing that, where I just go on a internet fast, away from the phones, away from the computers, away from everything, and just kind of, cook, clean, and just get away from stuff, just get away from the internet. And I would say this, that the internet has gotten so toxic that even is affecting Christian communities on the internet. There are people on there that's getting so wrapped up with the gossiping about another Christian, talking about, oh, look at this Christian and what he's doing. He's a fake Christian. Oh, look at this one here. And it's like, wait, we went from spreading the gospel and walking in the love of Christ to gossiping about one another, and talking about who's right and wrong, and, oh, this is a fake Christian, you're a real Christian, I'm a better Christian, or look at this one, do you think he's a real Christian? Like, we're making talk shows now off of another brother or sister, instead of encouraging them and praying for them. Thanks.
My pleasure. Have a great night.
You too. Times 8:50. Okay, I'm just gonna eat this real quick before I go there, because once I go there, I won't be eating, because you get distracted. Let's see, I gotta get some food in my belly. Oh shoot, I'm not supposed to go up this way. Go on there. Let me turn around. I just realized the arrow. Let me go this way. Just make sure nobody is. Okay, let that old lady go first, and then we'll turn in. There she is. Park right here and just eat real quick before I leave, because I'm not far from my sister and mom's house. So so we see this affecting Christian communities now, and it's to the point now where it's all about entertainment. But I'm going to pray for you, brother, and that's it. But it's becoming a gossip show now. And it's like, it makes me like, I'm like, oh, I had to pull away from certain videos and certain people, because I'm like, okay, you're going from spreading God's love and gospel to lies and deception and gossiping about each other. This is not of God. Paul never, ever promoted division in the church. So, we see all of this going on, and I feel like again, the internet is the place for that. And there's a lot of wolves in the mix. Not everybody that says I'm a child of God is a child of God. The Bible says you know them by their fruits, what they show, who they're standing with, what spirit they're operating from. So you're like, I don't need to be around that. So you got to wonder how many genuine Christians there really is on there. Is there wolves in the mix of the Christian community? I'm sure. Just like they were back in the Old Testament and New Testament, so are they today. And until the day Christ comes back, So, there's a lot of that going on. So it's like, I just don't want to be around that. I would love to meet some Christian brothers and sisters that are genuine, that are not fake. When I say fake, walk around like they're holier than thou, like they perfect, they don't sin. I don't want to be around people like that, or they have something to say because you said a curse word. Yeah, that ain't got no, I don't need to be around you. You just too much. I want to be around people that are just genuine. Their faith is genuine, and people that really just, are respectful of your walk, and they really would like to know more about God. If you're an unbeliever, but you would like to hear about God, and you want to know why my faith is the way it is and why I'm with the Lord, then I can hang with you. If you genuinely really would like to know about God and why my faith is the way it is, then I can hang with you, because you at least genuinely would like to know, and maybe you would like to get to know God, and I can hang with you because you're the type of person that's not out to have a debate and a fight, and that's your attention. So now some people debate and fight, but you got to kind of be able to discern it. But they get argumentative because what they hear is truth, but at the same time they want God, their spirit, their soul wants God, but they don't realize that their soul is thirsting for God. But a lot of times you won't be able to feel that out until you talk to them. So it's God gives you discernment. Oh, there's little duckies. Hi, babies. Oh, oh, there's ducks walking together. The Chick-fil-A. Oh, what are they doing outside of the water? Oh, be careful. All these people driving, pulling out. You're so cute. Quack, quack. Oh boy, I'm just eating my food now. I'll be at my mom's in a bit. So yeah, so that's the thing, that roams in my head with all the stuff that goes on nowadays. And that's part of the reason why I don't go to church. There's a lot of false doctrines, is number one. Two, because of these type of people. The only difference is it's on the internet now, and it's just even worse because now people gossip and they feel like they can do things without consequences or accountability, or someone coming at them and saying something to them. And you know what I mean? They're on the internet, so they feel like, oh, I'm hidden. And they're like, I could just get away with bullying people. They got Christian communities bullying other Christians. That's crazy. Instead of praying for somebody, you would rather bully them and say, yeah, you're going to hell. Yeah, you're not child of God, da da da. Yeah, and those same people, when people act like that, when people got that kind of attitude, I gotta question you. I really have to question somebody like that. You really do. You have to question somebody like that. A lot of times I think they're insecure of themselves in some form of way. I think people like that, as much as they try to claim they may be believers and all, I really don't feel like they are that confident in their faith as they say they do. Because you're too busy looking at another brother, Christian brother and sister, that you never evaluate yourself. And it's almost like they're trying to keep the attention off of themselves, or they don't want to focus on themselves because they're afraid of facing a reality about themselves they don't want to accept. So they would rather sit there and look at another brother, Christian brother and sister, and judge them and say, yeah, you this and that. Yeah, you going to hell and blah, blah, blah. You this. And it's like, well, I don't want to be around somebody like that. Like, you get joy out of talking about another brother, sister, instead of encouraging them and saying, you know what, brother, we all falter. We all fall. We're all sinners. But that's not what they do. They sit there and judge people and point fingers and, ready to fight, put pictures of them up on. How, really? Well, he's teaching a false doctrine. Well, actually, he's not. And even if he is, you could say this is a false doctrine. But also what I see is not biblical. So I would be careful with the doctrines he's teaching. But see, there's a difference when someone comes off like that and when somebody's sitting there bullying somebody personally and trying to put horns over the head on a video and talking about, yeah, you going to hell, and yeah, such and such, yeah, he's a demon. He's not a real Christian. What do you guys think? Now you're making this a show of gossip, not so much focus on the subject of their doctrine or what they're teaching. There's a difference. There's a difference between sitting back saying, oh, I'm just doing a video in response to what this person was teaching. Now, this is the reason why I'm coming at this person, this doctrine that they're teaching, not the person, is because it's not leading people to Christ. That's the most important thing. If it's something stupid, okay, where you guys have two different beliefs about a scripture that has no clarity, and unless you have the Holy Spirit, you will get true clarity. But some things we'll never know for sure. And you got certain scriptures that have different interpretations. And then one person says, oh, yeah, well, women are supposed to cover their heads. Well, I don't believe that they're talking about women are covering their heads. Oh, look at the ducks. Hi, baby. I hope they're not kicking at the ducks. That's not nice. Oh, poor duckies. Oh, they're staring at me. Hi, duckies. Yeah, it looked like she was trying to kick at the ducks. I don't do that. Look young, but still. I knew at 17, 18 not to do something like that. So, yeah, like that really honestly, that disturbs me. I could be pretty sensitive to certain things, and that's something I don't like to see. Like some people, I guess they can deal with that. To me, it bothers me deeply. I'm very sensitive to like evil intent. You get what I'm trying to say? And people who got wickedness in their heart, like just want to do evil and talk about people and try to ruin people's images. That's not what God tells us to do. Oh, I wonder why the ducks are still around here. Maybe someone's feeding them at Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I don't even know what ducks really eat. I notice they're coming towards my car now. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Let me see, babies. Hi, duckies. Hi. Hello. Quack, quack. Let me see the duckies, babies. Hi, sweetie. Oh, I wonder if they're looking for food. Look at them. They're so cute. Hi, duckies. Hi, baby. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them. What are you guys doing out of the water? Huh? What are you doing out of the water? You guys looking for someone? Oh, they're so cute. Oh my gosh. They're just standing there. And I don't know. Somebody must be feeding them. I don't know what they're getting, but they're just standing. There goes my nephew. I think that's him calling me. Let's see. Oh, it's Nisha. Hold on, that's my sister. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, all right. I'm gonna eat that as my sister, so she's gonna eat this. But yeah, so that's just been what's been up with me. That's why I'm very cautious about who I entertain, who I open up to. All that. Because Just because, like I said, just because somebody says I'm a Christian doesn't mean that they're genuinely a child of God. Doesn't mean their heart is in the right place or that they have the right intentions. So I just don't trust people either just because they say they're Christian. I can just feel them out in their energy and say, let me see who they really are. I'm not going to just easily trust them and try to get personal with them just because they're Christian. You know? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. I love the salad. Market salad with the fruits and chicken, strawberries, granola. So good. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And it got feta cheese in it. Mm. 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 Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, sorry. It's so good. Mm. But yeah, so I know there's a lot of wolves. Mm. 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 Mm-mm-mm. Eating this down, chopping this down because I really didn't eat dinner. Mm. I'm wearing my shirt, by the way. Faith over fear, Psalms 118:6. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So good. Put more salad dressing on here. And I'm gonna put it in the bag for right now. And I'm gonna cover it because I want to get to the house because I don't want to get there too late. Mm. Mm. I would love to get like a a get together with like some children of God, or like I said, some people that may be looking for God or would like to, or curious to know more about the Lord and our faith in our Lord Jesus Christ, who is the truth, life, and the way. That would be nice. And actually read scriptures together and do things. I want something like that. If I'm to be on the internet and spend quality time with people, I would want to spend time doing that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, I'll put this over here, and I'll try to finish that up. If so, when I have time, I'll probably do a little quick Bible study session or something like that before bedtime. But take care all, and God, have a happy Saturday, happy Mother's Day. Bye bye.